We're gonna talk about the. I want to talk about the two main subjects about the steps in this for successful tourism in Dagestan. Three cases which I know, and I want to maybe mention something about the sustainable tourism or responsible tourism. So let's go. And okay, who I am? I'm a co-founder of Dagestan-based accelerator YARD. Here is Magomed Stanchayev. You can look at him. He's sitting. He's head of the accelerator. So what? Yep. He's my big boss. He's my big boss. And we launched a tourism accelerator in Dagestan. We found the tourist track in accelerator. So we already had two conferences about the tourism. And almost my experience, I'm a product manager, so product or growth manager in startup industry. So almost 10 years I'm working with startups, and I like this stuff very much. Okay, I don't hear. I don't see. Okay. What's the main problem of sustainable tourism? So I saw the video, and one guy, he makes some research and said, okay, he asked people who knows about this, do you think this sustainable tourism is important? Okay, and 79% of the people said, yes, it's very important, but however, happened? But 25% didn't know what it is. This is a huge problem. So people tell about the sustainable tourism, but they don't know what is the sustainable tourism is. So is tourism causing problem? And what you said that overwhelming is kind of in our language, in the language of the business, we say this is unbalanced problem. So the amount of tourism is more bigger than capacity of the destination. So you have a lot of tourists, you don't have a lot of place for living, place for visiting, and whatever. So what is destination? It is purpose of traveling. So the idea, I just move later to the main part. So what is the destination? Destination is kind of purpose. So why the tourist come to your region? Why he spend the money? Why he wants to take photos? But most of the tourists, they don't know why they come. They just coming because they're coming because somebody visiting Bali and you should visit Bali, but they don't know why they should visit Bali, why they should visit Georgia, why they should visit Dagestan. And we don't have we could have a same tourist, but our idea to have a smart tourist. So people who knows why they're coming here. So the smart destination means smart tourist. Smart tourist in our language, startup language, it means smart money. So the idea to get smart people with smart money to spend their many money in Dagestan, not in other regions. So what is responsible tourism? I took this from the responsible tourism from the Cape Town. You can Google it. If you like, just write down Cape Town Declaration of Responsible Tourism. It's many pages, so you can read it. Very interesting. So I just took a couple notes. The responsible tourism creates better place for better people to live in, and better places to visit. What it do? It maximizes benefit to local communities. Actually, we have to develop local communities. It minimizes the negative social environmental impact. Actually, it also works with the local communities and it works with the purpose of destination. And it helps local people conserve fragile cultures and habitats of species. So, the main parts of the responsible tourism, first, economic. So people should earn money there. So I mean, local people. Second, ecology, and the third one is social demography. So trying to solve social problem, young people, the main problem in the village, which we are hearing right now when we are discussing with the some villages. So the young people, they move to the big cities and nobody stays there. So nobody works there. So, and as example, because in accelerator, we always works with value. So we're trying to increase the value of the product. So this is G Adventure. It is a website. It's an international website. They build the road. And if you see the prices, $4,000, $2,000 is a screenshot. Almost $3,000. So what they build roads. But if you go to this website, you cannot find anything other than only like Moscow, St. Petersburg. Like you hear here, you see this Beijing, but no Dagestan, no Caucasus. So we have as a region, we have more attractives for tourists, but probably we can give more value to the tourist. So the tourist will not spend a lot of money here, and even tourists, they don't know about Dagestan a lot. So 3 cases which we have learned. One of them, guys, was in our accelerator. 3 cases which make Dagestan better for tourism. And the one story about the village of the Sogratl, and the second one about the village Kubachi, and the third one about the village Shara. It's 3 different language: Avar, Dargin, and Lak. Shara. Shara is a village in the Lak region. Okay. The Sogratl, if you don't, this. Yeah, it's about Shara. Shara has fund started almost 10 years ago, and they start so the richest people of the village start to collect money. So, and then they start to decide, okay, where to spend this money, and what they do, they first they invest in the school. So here is a school, they just renew it, they build new school. Second, they make the soccer place, like play field, as they call Shara Arena. Now people can play the games. They build a park, and they restore the lake. So if tourists will come, they can, even not tourists, I mean, any people who live outside of the Shara, they can come and visit the lake. Also, what they have done, they restored the mosque, and the mosque was very old. So they restored the mosque according to how it was the first view. I mean, not like now they're doing, because they have a specific mosque, and the purpose of mosque was kind of traveling mosque. They called I forgot how they called in Black language, but if we translate into English, they call traveling mosque. So all travelers can stay there, at night can bring their horse there, and on the next day they can move further. So they try to use that old materials. So they have some woods there, they have some stones to restore this mosque. So this is kind of what they have. They have 2 ways. So just make mosque in a new way, how most of us doing, or just restore how it was before. So they restore the history, and every people who can come there, we see what the mosque before. And you can this contact information. You can call you can write on their Instagram, and I have the name of this guy. And how they start to, you can consult with them. So how they start to collect money, who decide where to spend money, because they said, okay, only our Jamaat or only our community will decide how to spend money, and we spend to the road, to the masjid or mosque, to the school, whatever. And the second story is Ethnodom. Everybody knows, I think, Zaur Tsokholov, which built his Ethnodom in the Chokh. This example of the Murat Yakhyaev, he built his Ethnodom in the Kubachi. And the main idea, so he got the 2 grants from the government, and this money helped him to start to restore his house. So if you, for example, he lives in Kaspiysk, actually, these guys.
У нас такое-то, такое-то число. Скорее всего, мы тоже укажем.
I don't know who is it. Okay. Right now. And as he said, I couldn't start it by own way, by own money, but I received grants, and it is almost 1 million rubles, and it helped me to start it. So 1 million. Okay. $1 million. Yeah, I just.
Switch over microphones, please.
I think I turned off everybody.
Oh, you didn't mute it, like.
Mute, oh, really? Yeah, I'm.
Somebody can't help.
Yes, collective mind.
Don't forget to.
So, and this is his mission when I was if you can talk with this guy, I think you should talk. He said my mission was to restore 300 houses in Kubachi, and I just started at first. He was first in the Kubachi, and now already 2 houses is under restoration. So he started the movement. This is about his grant, how he received the grant, and he started the movement to already 2 houses is under restoration, under the construction in the Kubachi. And he said in 2020, I received 200 people in the village. So, but his problem, he doesn't have a place to live, just you can only visit. And now in this year, he will build extra space so people can stay there. So this is a good case. And this, I think I show these guys, maybe you know him. And just, his name is Murat. You can write him to the Ethnodom Kubachi, his Instagram, or can find him. So he said that he can give all information how he received the grant to restore his houses. So, I mean, this is a very good example how people use government money to make something interesting in their village. So, I suppose you should contact with him.
Too many examples how people can mislead the government money.
Like, I mean, we have, starting from the recent events when the Minister of Tourism was arrested, we have too many. We still really, unfortunately, in these 30 years of our news history, we have too many, really many examples of misleading government and swindling government money. So hopefully we have Murat, Zaur, and with their examples, we'll have many more people coming with good examples of using the government money.
Yeah,
I really hope so. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope so too. But you know Murat, I know also him. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah, I agree.
And about the garbage, this is very short because I couldn't get a lot of. I know this case, but I couldn't get information as detailed. But what's the purpose of this case? The people of the Sogratl, maybe we have somebody from the Sogratl here. So what they do, they bought the garbage recycling machine, and they start. First of all, they teach the people in the village how to separate the garbage. So plastic, paper, glass. And second step was how they start to recycle it, and they don't spend a lot of places to keep it. They don't dig it. It was digged actually on the ground before, but now it's they can move it outside. So and the idea was this purpose. So their hypothesis, because in accelerator we think everything is hypothesis, and you have to check it. And their hypothesis was that if they can make the village cleaner, so the young generation will stay there, and they can so makes cleaner, bring tourists give money, help young generation stay there. So their idea of they have some kind of chain of purposes. So why they start to do this? And here's, you can watch their on NTV. But it's very short. But if you want to talk more, I think we can describe it more deeper with the person who made this one. Yeah, they mix it and they move away.
No, with the plastic one, I think they just cut it into the pieces.
Yeah, cuts in the piece. Yeah, in the piece.
They have-
And they supposed to move in in Khachkala because have we should have a garbage factory here, but it's closed.
But there is another problem. I spoke with the city manager of Sagrat, and as you know, from the January 2019, there are new waste management law
Yep.
came to an effect, and unfortunately, according to this law, local communities like this, they cannot do any waste management by themselves.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
they have to appoint not them actually, the Ministry of Ecology and Resources. They have to appoint some company which might be located in somewhere in Vladikavkaz to waste some management based to manage some waste based in the highlands of Dagestan,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So and they had to close their facility. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's very bad. But we don't know how to work with government like this. Yeah, I don't know how to change
Yeah.
it.
By the way, I mean just the after story of this.
Yeah.
There is the Ministry of Ecology and Resources is already arrested.
Finally.
He's under legal case. I don't know what is the outcome, but still is there. Just for your information.
Yeah. Only one? No. They call it, but okay. I'm sorry. The main idea of the village Shara and the village Sagratl, they collect money by their own, the rich people. So they create the fund, kind of investment fund, and they invest in their village. So we don't have Abdullah Aliyev here. There's
Why did we? Why
he has a different conference, I suppose. But these guys.
And when I said we the only English is acceptable, I think he had some.
No, he
problems
speaks
with that.
English.
Yeah, he speaks. He does, but
So I mean, this guy, he's learning how to work with the village fund, how they create it, how they should be managed, whatever. So the purpose of this Sagratl and Shara, so people without any government help, so they collect money, and the community Jamaat, they decide where to spend this money and how to spend to the village. So the village will be more attractive or more cleaner or more reliable, whatever, or say sustainable for the tourist or for the own people who live there. So it's not about the government. Government doesn't help them.
It's not very secure.
I don't know. It's very
Allah-
short case. You know,
usually
you
we
cannot
say-
say the secure or not secure.
usually you say Allah sees everything in Dagestan.
Because according to investment fund, it's very short time to understand, is it secure, is it reliable, whatever. We should keep learning about this. Not check, I mean, we know them, but what happened after 5 years with them? I don't know. But now they're working. So the idea of our idea to help them spend their money in a more smart way. So this our accelerator, what we do actually. And finally, it's just, I know maybe you know, this is a passport of the Palau pledge. And then Palau pledge, when you come to this island, when you pass the board, they put the stamp and you have to sign. And if you read that, I will not read it all. No, I just one thing. The only footprints you shall leave are those that will washed away. So, and you sign that you confirm their rules. So if you go to travel somewhere, on the custom, they put the stamp. This is the stamp what you go to the Palau. And you should write, okay, I agree. It's kind of agreement which you will follow their rules. You will not put a lot of garbage, whatever. And the only footprints I shall leave are those that will wash away. So there's this idea. I mean, they give some value to the people, so the people will follow these values. So this main idea. And this is our accelerator yard. So what we do, we develop business there. And if you want to ask about accelerator, you can ask after conference, not in, because this is a little different.
I watched the video of your accelerator about USA, tourism in USA and different European countries using Mongolian cottages, huts. I forgot how they call it.
Glamping?
Yes, glamping. It was quite interesting. And you talked there, I think you were the speaker.
No, that guy's behind you. Magomed?
Yeah.
Yes. About glamping, he's expert in this one.
Yeah, okay.
So not me.
It was nice.
I'm not expert in. I'm expert in product management.
So by the way, about Kubachi.
Yep.
As for me, I suppose the main problem with Kubachi is the road there. To tell the truth, when I take tours there, it's so hard to get there fresh because you are tired of this road. And maybe if to get grant for this, because with eco houses, it's okay there, but with road, to get to such nice place, it's necessary to have better road, like to Gunib or Hunza. So it's my opinion. What do you think about this? Are there any opportunities to improve the situation with roads? Transport.
Okay. First of all, we now we talk about the value of destination. So you said the road is after such a difficult road, you have to have some relax. But there is no place to relax there. I mean, you don't have hotels or maybe houses where to stay there. So the problem, the road, not only the problem, more the problem is the destination. So you have to maybe stay one or two nights there in the Kubachi. But the road, I mean, the local community could help invest in the destination, but it's very difficult to invest in the road. I mean, to build a new road there.
The road and the infrastructure and everything else
it's government
is infrastructure. It has to be up to the government, I think.
This is very difficult.
I mean, it has to be, the government has to take the necessary steps to improve the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Because the road, I mean, we see the road, but it's many hundreds of millions of rubles in this case.
Yes. So then our idea, for example, we could have a lot of problem with, as Marta said, with the local communities. So local communities, some of them suppose that the tourists could destroy their religion, their tradition, whatever. And first of all, we have to collect people as a community. And second one, they should understand, okay, could we invest in our own village? So to build, for example, houses for tourists and start to earn money on them also and bring some rules. So that guys, Abdullah Aliyev and they and the Haji Murad Donogo, they developed the passport of the regulation for the tourists. So they took
what kind of recommendations for the tourists. Yeah, and we are, I mean, in a team with the help of local historians and Haji Murad Donogo himself. He's a professor of history, and we are developing a special program of preparations for the tour guides, especially.
Okay.
And the recommendations for the local jamas and the local communities, how to communicate with the tourists. And we are in close cooperation with the Muftiat of the Republic of Dagestan, the Islamic kind of cooperation, like Islamic Society of Dagestan, because as you might know, for our foreign friends, the main religion in Dagestan is in Islam, and which has some more specific requirements for the like dress, has some specific traditions, has some specific traditions and requirements for the spirits consumption in some, especially in some closed like villages and communities in the highlands, and as Marta said before, that has to be, I mean, it's better for all of us, for the tour guides, and to inform the guests to avoid like uncomfortable situations in future. I think it's very important for all of us. I mean, if we talk about the sustainable tourism. Yeah, and of course, first of all, as Marta emphasized, especially, it's most important here to talk with local communities, local people, what they want. Do they really want something happening here? Maybe they will say, we don't want anything like related with tourism. But as far as I know, the Muftiyat of Dagestan and local communities and the local like government entities and everyone else, and there are some persons, there are some like influencers, there are some like sports personalities which are descended from some places, some specific places. They all understand how important is the tourism and sustainable tourism for the rural development, for this territorial development, because otherwise there is almost no other option. And to hope someday government will come and let's say build a multi-million road project in Kubachi or Tlarata or whatever, so it will take ages. So here I think we have to take some steps ourselves in close relationship with the local communities. Yeah, this is great examples Vali given, and I think it has to be, we have to scale it, and it's easily scalable. We can scale it in with this good.
Yeah, now we're just, as an accelerator, as a part of accelerator, now we're learning about the best practice inside. Okay, we learn, actually Abdullah Ali, let's learn deeper. We work with him, and we learn, okay, how this fund will could achieve this kind of level, or what they do which attract the tourist in the best way. So, and we can describe this best practice, and the other people, our region, other villages could apply it by their own. So this could be the idea of like shared open knowledge. So everybody could use it.
Vali, thank you for sharing these examples.
You're welcome.
We work not just in Dagestan, but across the North Caucasus. And I mean, this is, I want to see stories like Sagratel and Kubachi and these other villages, in every republic, Chechnya, Ingushetia, and North Ossetia are there. So I don't know. I think what you've started there has great potential to multiply in the rest of the region. So I don't know how that would happen, but I commend the work you're doing, and it gives me, even as an international tour operator, an idea of maybe ways we can help these things develop as well in other North Caucasus republics. Well done.
No, thank you. So this is right. You said right. It's the main idea of the local community. Even in Chechnya, we talk with the guys from the Chechnya. They said we don't want to see tourists here in Chechnya. We don't want to see that. Why? Because they drink alcohol, they dress not according to our tradition. Okay, but you don't say you don't want to see tourists. Don't say we don't want to see such tourists. But we want to see smart tourists which will follow our tradition. I mean, not corrupt them. So will drink a lot of alcohol. Will not leave the garbage. So smart.
I mean, it's a story of we don't want tourists drink alcohol. We will drink alcohol ourselves. Yeah, that's. I mean, in most of the cases, unfortunately, that's the story. Yeah. I mean, because we don't want some foreign tourists come and ruin our alcohol traditions.
Yeah.
We are not self-critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the story. I mean, it's kind of joke, but I know many this kind of so-called pro-Islamic and how to say, like which take these kind of restrictions very strict themselves. But themselves, they not only just drink the alcohol, they just, you cannot go somewhere around the village without everywhere is the rubbish. And unfortunately, that's the case. I mean, if we bring some, as you said, a smart tourists, and I'm sure these people, they will change their mind.
Yeah.
Also,
I
can I
think so.
say something on that? So that's exactly what you're saying, Vali, that people, the local people can be scared because sometimes they either, they've never been anywhere, they don't know what kind of tourists can come over, and there is always a risk of tourists coming and behaving in a stupid way and taking naked pictures in sacred places. And I mean, we all know about it, we've all seen it, unfortunately. And but there's also, there needs to be like a two-way communication. So, for example, tourists in Tusheti, the locals in Tusheti were very upset that tourists come and women go into the shrines, but there's no communication anywhere. There's no information for some tourists that it's not allowed to do it. And okay, to be a responsible tourist, you should be able to, you should read about the area, and you should know what to do and what not to do. But there's so many things, so many local nuances that you just won't be able to read, And so in a way, if there's no information for tourists, then tourists sometimes break the rules without even knowing that they break the rules. And so again, it comes to the planning, the not having sort of ad hoc tourism, or having planning tourism, because if you see what you want, what you don't want as a destination, then you can see, okay, well, what is the communication like? Do we let tourists know that they're not supposed to do some certain things? And most tourists are sensible, and most tourists will not do stupid things. So it's just that sort of, you can't really only blame the tourists for things, and at the same time you cannot blame the locals for not wanting it. There's the one incident can really make the whole village say, we don't want anyone here. So that's why the dialogue in communications is very, very important, for both sides, really. And that's why, but at the very beginning, you just need to ask, what do you actually want? What do you want to share, and what you don't want to share? Are there any things that we need to be really careful from the very beginning? What we want to open up to tourism?
Yeah. Very good example of the smart tourist, which actually we had when we start our accelerator. So first time, who came, Magomed? Who came? Anastasia, I supposed. Первая приехала так. Yeah, I still suppose. Okay, never mind. So we have one girl. She has a startup, Connect Plus, and she came to the Dagestan and she found us on the Facebook. So we guys who works with the startups, and she said, okay, I want to visit some places in Dagestan. After that, she left the comment, okay, if you want to go to the Dagestan, just wrote Magomed, Zainab, or Vali, and they take care of you because they know what's a startup and they know everything about the Dagestan, so they can take care. So and when they came here, so we have some guys from the product vision company, wherever, and they give us some kind of lectures. So what I mean, they are smart tourists. They came to Dagestan, they spent here their money. However, we took from them some knowledge for free. So this is kind of exchange. And in our way, in Accelerator, what we do, we just make some exchange.
And the other guy was there, right? You visited
Ruslan.
Yeah, Ruslan.
Yeah, Ruslan Kuzminov. Yeah. They will camp.
That was great experience, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's head of product vision, actually, this company. So this is the kind of idea of the smart tourist. So people with the knowledge, they come here, they spend their money. Also, they give us some knowledge. We make some exchanges.
For our international friends, would it be better for you if we stand up when we're talking, or to be visible, or is okay? Do you see us?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We hear you.
Yeah, great. Marta made very good point on that many of the incidents and many of the this kind of incidents with international tourists, they occur mostly because there is misinformation and miscommunication between the tourists and the local communities and local people. I have a very good example of this. It's 100% true because I had a case in Old Gore. Everybody knows this, Gore Towers, right? And there is so-called the tongue of troll in Old Gore in Shamil district. So whoever is in tourism, the guys know that area because I'm in tourism every day. Yeah, my name is Kamal, by the way, for our international friends. And there is a very old shrine, the tomb of the Sheikh Ahmad from Syria, who was in these areas, who actually one of the names, one of the people, like historically he was one of the people who brought Islam into that area. And this place is considered as sacred there, like ziyarat, as you know, like tomb, like shrine. And the people, I found the group of Moscow tourists, I mean, they were all Russian speaking, and they were like opening bottle of champagne on the tomb. It's like 20 meters away from this place. And there is a graveyard, and his grave is like built like a mausoleum on this, and like a building. And oh, we have a new visitor. Oh, great. And the thing was, I was lucky to find them and to explain to them what is this place about. And if someone from local people or local community from Gore would have found them and would have seen this situation, that would be some uncomfortable situation there. But why this has happened, if there is on the tomb, there was a card or there was a plate saying this is like sacred place, like consumption of alcohol is prohibited here, or whatever is information it takes. So that situation wouldn't be avoided. So the misinformation, miscommunication, it happens. So that is really big problem. So like locally we will work on that, hopefully with the help of hopefully Ministry of Tourism, with a new minister, hopefully.
Kamal, don't you think that actually the root of the problem is that in many places local communities does not manage the growth of tourism? I mean that in many places it just happens. Tourists just start coming, and nobody tries to manage the process. And I think I believe that is local communities who should do that. And that's why actually I'm against this fast growth of tourism. Now, I mean, right now, I'm against building good roads in Dagestan because that will bring too much tourism, too much tourists. and come out, just I will finish the idea. It will be too much tourists, and local communities will not manage the communication between them and tourists. Dagestan just need a little more time, maybe 1 more year. I hope it will be very fast. But first of all, local communities must create the rules for behavior in their villages.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know, design of their guest houses. It would be great if everybody will start making guest houses according to particular rules working in this village. It would be great, right? Instead of making everything without any design, right? It will be house and still lost its face. And I tried to make something like that in Balkhar. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to make this project intensively in Balkhar, but I hope something will I will get success finally. But the problem in Balkhar is that there is no local community. There are locals, but there is no local community which can create the rules, which even can create the foundation, and that's the problem. I mean, we need probably a group of people who will try to inspire locals to become community. And actually, in Russia, there are a number of people who are experts in working with communities. There is a school right now. It's an online school called Nizavalenka is going on, and probably the government or just people like we can invite these kind of experts to work in the villages.
Dima, can you share this link later, please, for this school? That would be
okay. I will
very useful.
Send it now.
Thank you. Yeah, you said good things about you're against the roads and whatever infrastructure in Dagestan, but I'm afraid the problem is we would like to bring to build the roads not for the tourists but for ourselves first of all. Another thing.
Yes, I understand. Of course, I'm not against the roads. I'm against
yeah, I understand.
Speed of growth.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dimitri. I think we will have plenty of subjects for discussion at the end of the conference. There is time allocated. Let's thank Vali for his contribution now.
Thank you, Vali.
Let's take a 10-minute break.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and
sorry, can I put my last comment on this issue because it seems critical. So hello to everyone. My name is Evgeny. I am from Moscow myself, and I'm regular tourist in Dagestan. So I was here for at least 3 times. And for me, as a regular tourist, this topic about corrupting the local communities by the tourists, by the people who come to Dagestan, is very sensitive. Since I don't agree with the previous speaker, Dmitry, who mentioned the well behavior, like the local communities should somehow show how the tourists should behave, because for me behavior sounds like a little bit discriminatory, and I think that it's better that Islamic authorities of Dagestan, local communities, local authorities, and Republican authorities make an agreement between each other, and they should somehow provide these rules, if we name them as rules, for tourists to follow, if it's really very important for local communities. Since this is a policy-making process and tourism is also a part of it, the tourists are not a part of this policy-making process. They're excluded, so they cannot corrupt the communities. That's my opinion. That's why that if there is some work that should be done for tourists to show how they should behave themselves, it should be done not from the tourists themselves, but from the authorities of the Dagestan. So if there is no rules, so tourists don't know how to behave themselves.
Thank you very much, Evgeny.
Yeah, Evgeny, I'll just add some like remarks, if you don't mind. Evgeny made a very good point, because we are with an NGOs, and Vali mentioned some of the local communities. And with the religious authorities, we all together, like tourist communities, working on these kind of rules. I mean, hopefully we're very like rigorously working on every single word on this recommendation, so it could suit everyone. Hopefully, like it doesn't matter like Muslims or not Muslims or visitors or anybody. because our like main goal is to avoid any uncomfortable situation with the locals. But unfortunately, as Dmitry and Evgeny, as you said, would be very good to inspire like locals, first of all, to design and to their guest houses and build their own communities. And as we know, not everybody is in the villages in designers and builders and like creative class, I would say. But as for now, what we're getting from the local communities, they're putting the bar like the gate, and they're collecting the 100 ruble from everyone who is coming there, and which is totally unacceptable. So we want to avoid that situation as well. So hopefully we'll work on that, and we'll come very soon with an outcome.
Thank you. Let's have a 10 minutes break, and then we will continue.
Maybe one more. The user just send the altruism, the link. You can, if you can just follow this. Yes, I remember this is a girl her name is Zatuliveter. You can find Zatuliveter on YouTube, and she has some cases how to develop local communities by themselves, how to bring workplaces there. So, and she should come in Dagestan in September, as I remember, but I don't know how it's going. Maybe she will come in September. So you can learn her cases and watch her videos on YouTube. She's very interesting.
Thank you. Let's meet. So official discussion over. 10 minutes break. Let's meet 10 minutes after 3. Okay? Moscow time.